of the one somebody who is the Christ Almighty. Speaking of the one who makes me whole, the Almighty God who saved my soul. Speaking of the one who lights my way, the Almighty King, he saves the day. We turn from the darkness and pain it brings, and put on the armor of the King of Kings. Just a nobody, trying to shine a light for everybody. Speaking of the one somebody who is the Christ Almighty. So free from being a slave to sin, because he paid the ultimate cost by his death, burial, and third day rose again. Because of his infinite love, he redeems the lost. By placing true faith in him, we will always win. We long for the world to see his face and follow the path of his endless grace. Just a nobody, trying to shine a light for everybody. Speaking of the one somebody who is the Christ Almighty.
What is up, guys? What is up? Welcome to the stream. God is so good. This thing going. Yeah, man, hope you guys have an awesome day. I'll put the link in the chat in a second where we can hopefully call in, voice their disagreements. Excellent. There it is. There we go. All right. Are you vibing? We vibing. I think we vibing. All right, now it's time to wait. See, we get some people come in, talk some fun, get some good stuff going. What time is it? People coming in. What's up, guys? Welcome to the stream. God is so good. Like I said, voice your guys' disagreements, your agreements, the message. If you guys can explain this, please feel free to break it down. Why people say this? That you could be doing both. Let's talk. Let's get it going. People say you can be a Christian and a Democrat. Like, it just blows my mind. It doesn't seem they're not compatible, but somehow people advocate for the position. So we'll see if we get some people on here today to talk about it, discuss it. It was like conversations deviate off to different topics, which is fine. So there's a link in the chat for you guys to put. I'll put the other one up as well, because sometimes it goes to one of the YouTubes. People, don't feel free. Don't be scared, guys, to chat, man. People coming in. There's a bunch already, actually. Got 20 on that YouTube already. Like I said, feel free to say your position. Why do people say it? Is it wrong? Is it right? Can you be Democrat and liberal? I mean, Democrat and Christian? A Democrat and a Christian? Feel free to voice that. Next, there's a call-in link as well if you want to call in to defend the position. Or you could just be like, yeah, you're right, man, you can't be this. It's pretty baffling that people say you can. You could do things that God abhors, position for that, support evil. It's antithetical to Scripture, antithetical to God and His nature. Somehow advocate that you follow God. It's pretty crazy, man. It's pretty crazy. All right, so I got that up on that one. Cool. All right, so we will sit here and wait because people coming in, they scared. Like 20 some people now on YouTube itself, and they don't want it, man. It's just normal. They just don't want the truth, man. I'm trying to think right here. Give me a second. Well, I'm good to go today. Not much distractions. Should be. Again, all the people coming in, feel free to state your position, guys. If it's wrong, if it's right, why it's wrong, why it's right. There's a call-in link as well if you guys want to call in and have start this discussion. So you guys can elucidate why you could be a Democrat and a follower of Christ at the same time. Again, it doesn't seem possible. No one's been able to prove this yet. See if someone else can try to be the first one to try to refute. I just don't understand. It's pretty crazy. Actually, I should probably put that in the title. Can you be the first one to refute this? What's up there, Mr. R.L. Okie? What's up, dude? What's your stance, Okie? Where you at, man? Can you be a Democrat and a Christian? Can you not? So why not? You agree or do you disagree, and why? Oh, what is that, yo? I need a why, man. See, we get into this pattern regularly when people usually respond this way. They respond with saying a claim, but it's just that. And now it's just an assertion, empty claim. I need why, how. You're saying religion and political views never need to intersect. I completely disagree. Yeah, like there's no dissecting them or no diverging them. Excuse me. Because again, if you have morality, right, and you have certain views, your worldview, your political views are only founded off of your religious views. So there's no way to separate the two. They're very much so compatible, or they correlate from one another. But yeah, you see they don't. So I see that. And the vegetarian part, I mean, that's obviously I disagree. But that's not what the fruit. Where give me the religion and political views. How's this? The how. That's what they focus on, man. Because you shouldn't need to follow your religion and your political views if they're not. So you must be an atheist because you're not making. I mean, this respectfully, you're not making any sense unless you have that ambiguity, like an atheist worldview where you could everything's just subjective and ambiguous. You shouldn't need to follow your religion and your political view. That doesn't even make sense. Your religion, why would you not follow? You don't need to follow your religion, which would be your foundation, and your political views. Those are antithetical, man. Like what? So your political views would be more important than your religious views. That's crazy. Like that's insane. And there's that usual, y'all. People, I don't think every stream. I don't think it's been the last like week or two where someone hasn't said that statement. Okay, Yeko B. We need some proof, man. They would have deported you. They wouldn't have actually, because Jesus wouldn't have been illegal. He wouldn't be breaking the law coming on legally. So, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm an atheist, so I guess No, you're cool. I mean, you could advocate for any position. Period. I was just saying in general. Like I figured you would have that because atheism actually is a religion, even though I like to have it. Just right, it requires a faith. And actually, I argue way more faith than anything else. well, not anything else, but then religion, especially the Judeo God, the Abrahamic religion, God from the Bible. Which, I mean, if you went from either of those three, you would still be away from atheism. But atheism, you putting all of that subjectiveness there, where it's like no uniformity, it shows that you'd have to be like atheism. So that's the issue they usually have. They have this, no one agrees with anyone. Everyone's just like, we could be all right because everyone's making themselves their own God, and that you have moral relativity, where everyone's like, I'm right and you're right, even though we're disagreeing, we're both right, no one's wrong. It's craziness. It's a mess. But no, you can feel free to say your position. There's no open dialogue is good. It needs to be encouraged. Jesus wasn't illegal, of course. Jesus, what do you say? Okay, so if we're getting this context, we're putting Jesus into this mix, right? So he's like here in modern time, obviously not because he's God. He came 2,000 years ago. But say Jesus was in America, right? Like he wouldn't have been illegal because if he was in America, he would have came legally. He would have done things right. Jesus has no Jesus. I like that actually. Equals with theism, theology. He wouldn't have been illegal because again, Jesus never sinned. So it actually tells us usually to follow the law as long as it doesn't go against like the Bible. We're supposed to follow the law. So, and actually, we see what happens to the economy with all the illegals coming over. We're letting those people come over without any clearance. All the terrorists that came over, all the rapists and drug dealers and murderers. Because we have a system for a reason. Other countries, they murder you, they kill you when you come over illegally. We're like, no, just let them come over and give them free food, give them free phones, give them free housing. Yeah, it would destroy our economy for our people here. We're not taking care of our people first, and then people outside. That we can do. We'll just screw our people here. We're just giving all these illegal people over here. Yeah, that are illegal. Illegal means against the law. Here, illegally, not legal. Republicans don't hate the poor. That's not even a real thing. But if you're gonna give an argument how you can't be Christian and Republican, you gotta give me some fruit, because there gotta be things that God hate. Republicans don't hate the poor. Actually, if you look at Democrats, they hate the poor. You're keeping them enabled on, which is the whole point. I think Hillary Clinton wrote a paper about that. It's been a while since I remember looking into it, but it was a paper she had wrote talking about that. Keep them on, welfare, and keep them poor so you control them, because they're not going to rebel. And that's why you got this thing about socialism, which socialism always pushes communism, where you keep them poor, don't let them work. Right when they try to do it, I forgot what state it was a few years ago. They were trying to have them work a certain amount of hours, some small level, so they can keep getting like the benefits, food stamps, free housing, phones, and they were like, no, that's racist. Like, no, it's not. You're living off taxpayers' dollars for free. The system is supposed to be there to help you get on your feet. The poor thing as well is evil, because the Bible tells us that if you don't work, you don't eat. So that refutes your whole point. We had the poor people that people usually use in the scripture that Jesus helps. Of course, it's always the one that actually call out, right? Not the ones who are just like randomly, but they were lame or had a disease. They weren't, I'm just lazy, or I'm choosing to be on drugs or do this and this and neglect my job. No, it wasn't that. It was people with, again, lame or diseases, not modern homelessness where people are just like, I don't want to do drugs. And I believe me, I've helped that. I'm considered a Republican, and I've helped a lot of homeless people, and eventually got to the point where these people don't want help. Even one of the last guys I helped, I gave him, I think, like $100. I bought him a new phone, and I was like, he was next to a Walmart, and he was in a tent. He liked to use a tent, so I was like, look, I'll give you a ride. Apply to this McDonald's. I'll give you a ride whenever you need it. Let me know. Call me, and I'll come give you a ride. Several times a week. Whenever you go to work, let me know. Guess what? Never called ever again, because they don't want the help. They like what they're doing. They're addicted to drugs. They're comfortable with the evil they're doing. So it's not because they can't. They're choosing it. Again, the Bible tells us if you don't work, you don't eat. Which Paul said. So unless you're saying, no. Gotta do a little research. You can be Christian and Democrat, because faith isn't a party. Jesus said, care for the least. Yeah, but that's not how. That doesn't. Some feel those fit Democratic policies, but that's not it. See, the biggest thing you have to deal with for the Democratic part is the fact that they push things like they're against what God is against. Usually, actually, you look at Democrats. I don't think I know a lot of atheists that are conservative. You have atheists that are conservative, but I don't know about this. There's a lot more obviously Democratic parties. But when you look at Christianity, you have to be Christian. There's a core value there, right? But Democrats push for huge things that you can't basically disagree with unless you're not really a Democrat. Like abortion, which is murder. Can't get around that. LGBTQ, WXYZ, soup. They advocate, but God tells us that it's the abomination that he detests. Like, he hates those things. And if you love God, you love what he loves. And you hate what he hates, and who hates him. Not, I love the things that you hate God. You're advocating for things against evil against God. Doesn't make sense. Not compatible. They're the exact opposite. And you see that all the time. They're usually anti-God. Most people on welfare are elderly. That's big cap. There's a lot of people on welfare that ain't on no head. They just chilling. They're panhandling on the side of the streets. There's a lot of them. Children. How are children on welfare? Even the parents, you're not, whatever you're looking for isn't accurate. Or handicap, that's not accurate. Maybe disability for handicap, they might get both. There's not that many handicap nowadays. Actually, you have a lot of handicap that people try to make, like ADHD or ADD, the parents use to beat the system to get more money for their financial welfare. Trump is the opposite of a Christian. Trump's not a Christian, so that doesn't go anywhere. Don't think you should be sinning. Wait, I'm sorry, I just don't think you should be sinning if you like the same gender. You don't choose to. Yes, you do. That doesn't even make sense. And again, that's stupidity. It's so ridiculous. Because if that was the case, LGBTWXYZ soup would not be pushing so hard to push it to our kids. Right? This is supposed to be natural. No, it's not. Because if it was natural, just let it happen. No, they're trying to force it because they know these people that have it, they almost all admit they had trauma when they were young. That messed up their head. They're mentally ill. They had trauma, and they're trying to do the same thing to our kids now. That's why they're replicating the same exact thing, right? Normalize it. Because again, if it's normal, if it's natural, you don't have to push that. How can you say you were born that way? We don't know anything we like when we were born. Like, I was just born this way. I just knew when I was born, I was like, something's off. I think like, yo, what? It's laughable. It's insane. He teared gas, protested, helped, and held up a Bible in front of a church. Trump's not a Christian. I'm pretty sure Trump's admitted that. He agrees with Christian values, but he's not a Christian. Look up section. I don't have to look up. I've studied it. I mean, and that's mentioned. You don't have to look up source code orientation. LGBT WXYZ soup has been an outrageable, unnatural thing for everyone. This is the reason why the other countries, they still kill you to this day for it. It's always been that way. It's something you're insane. That's like saying, what about people who are schizophrenic or who are like, the people who go to mental homes or mental houses that they had back in the day? Like, yeah, you still have that. It's always existed. And it was always detestable. It's always hated by every society. I wonder why that is. Because it's not natural. You already have things where you do things like outside of marriage. Already bad. That's horrible. You shouldn't do it. But when you do that, you're still like in a natural realm though, right? When you leave that, you're leaving the unnatural. You're in some, like, you're out there. There's nothing right in your mind that you're like, oh, I gotta be saying, yeah. And you see that already with women. I remember back in the day when it was like becoming like, they're trying to make it more normal. It didn't make sense. Because you always had one woman trying to be a dude. You're the dude woman of the relationship. That doesn't make sense. Like, so there's already an issue with yourself already because you're trying to be a dude, right? Which we saw power, and there's a different word I'm not going to use in the stream. And then you had the woman who was always the more feminine one, who was like the woman that was trying to be the dude, which means like you like dude. Like, that doesn't make, again, it's stupid. It's a mental disorder. It's nothing to do with you're made that way. It's not, you can't prove that. And I have a background in counseling. I have a background actually in law enforcement as well, working where I oversaw the most dangerous sexual offenders in America. And a lot of them had that problem. All of them, had that problem. And ours was a little bit different because they had to give disclaimers. That was a part of the therapy, was to give disclaimers of your history. And yeah. It's a mess up. It's them, something happened to them, they're reproducing it and doing it back to others. Again, if it's natural, you don't need to push it. Why are we pushing on little kids then? Little kids that have no idea about any of this stuff. They're playing with little toys and we're like, yo, we gotta push, no, we gotta put it in there. We gotta make sure they know. We gotta make sure they know. They gotta know this. They gotta make sure they learn it. They gotta okay with it. They gotta see it's good. Try it, be curious with it, engage, and test it, experiment. No, you're trying to experiment, you're trying to mess them up already. Because once you go to that, you're like cuckoo. It's insane. Being LGBT, it is wrong. And again, if you're saying a biblical, you're not saying a biblical stance because you're an atheist. Can you call in the talk? It'd be better to talk to you so we could actually do this. Because I could show you where your area of thinking is wrong. And it's antithetical, like you're refuting yourself and you're actually to your own statements. And your words do say a lot about you, but we could see where we're gonna go to that. And actually on that parable you're giving, didn't he say which one was his neighbor? Thank you. You gotta know the scriptures, bro. I mean, you're atheist, so of course you're just doing the usual, I'm gonna try to use this against people and not cherry pick whatever I like, but not actually give the context to it. Because I'm against God. Saying you anyways. But here's a link if you want to jump in. We could talk about this because I'm telling you, you're gonna destroy your own theory. Like, you're atheist. So there is no right. Do you believe in morality? Do you have is there morality or what? You told me, guys, is there morality? Because you saying it's wrong. It's not wrong to be LGBT, and talking about them like that is disrespectful. Like, it's not much. It's telling facts. They're mentally ill. It's a mental disorder. It's not natural. It's insane. Again, that's in other countries they still kill you for this because it's insanity. And again, like I said, that's why they're pushing for it so hard, because it's not natural. You advocate, you have to push an agenda that's not natural, because that's why you're pushing so hard, because it's not natural. And you want this to push on these kids to mess them up, because they're sponges right now. You mess up a little kid right now, the chance of them recovering is very low. Very, 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 very. And they know that. They know how the mind works. They know how kids are when they're young. So that's what their goal is. Doesn't make sense. Again, if this is natural, you just let it happen, it's gonna blossom, and woo, I already know. Like, they already know, right? You already made that way. Think about how stupid it sounds. Where if I'm already born this way, I'm already thinking this way. Why do you have to tell me anything about it? I'm already thinking this way. Because again, I'm not thinking this way, clearly by the evidence. That's why they're trying to force it and teach it to me, so I can think that way, so I can start developing tendencies that way. Because I don't need to be taught it if it's natural. If I was born this way, I already know. You're not telling me anything new then. There's nothing there. It's so dumb. It's insane. Why did Grindr crash? I don't know who Grindr is. Why did Grindr crash in Republican National Convention? I have no idea what you're talking about. Okay, you're not what do you call it? You're not saying anything. You didn't respond to my question, and so that's not being honest. We're gonna be honest. Dialogue. You got to respond, and then you can go. And explain why every major medical and psychological group disagrees with you. What? That's not a statement. Saying someone disagrees with you isn't evidence. It's not how it works, bro. Because I'll give you different groups that disagree with them. So it doesn't make sense, especially in the science field. Everyone disagrees. You have creationists, design people, right? So you have atheist scientists who are like evolutionists, even though they admit that neo-Darwinism is dead. So you have both sides. Just because I'll name you two groups doesn't mean like, hey, you're wrong because this one group said this. Yeah, the groups you give constantly change their answers. Those groups usually have to talk about a man can't, not only women get pregnant. So just bury yourself. Only women can't get, men can get pregnant? Wait, that's weird. Oh wait, because they can't define a woman. Oh, my bad. No, it's stupidity is what you're saying. It's not factual. It's just an agenda going in with political ties. But like I said, no worries. Not Christian. Grindr is the gay. Oh, no wonder I didn't know what that thing was. I don't know, but good thing it did. I'm glad. My question was about you being atheist. Do you have morality? Because you were saying something's wrong and something else isn't wrong, so something else is right, but you don't have morality. How do you have morality? Do you agree with Dawkins? Like, do you agree with Dawkins' view, like, on evolution and like atheism? And every major medical, and it's like, I didn't even see you said major though. I thought you said like a main one. Not every major, that's not accurate. Okay, how can you have morals? How can you have morals when there's no God? There's no absolute truth. So how do you have morals? What's your morals founded off of? Because that means everything's subjective, which means the morals you really have aren't really morality then. So you can't say anything's right or wrong. So you're advocating for something totally irrational. Because again, which is what Dawkins, if you're on atheism, you know Dawkins is your guy, your top dog. He says there is no evil. There is no, actually, I have his quote, actually. Let me see if I pull it real quick. Give me like 10 seconds. Here we go. Boom! Let's go. The universe we observe has precisely the properties we should expect if there is, at bottom, no design, no purpose, no evil, and no good. Nothing but blind, pitiless indifference. This is from Dawkins, Richard Dawkins, and the River out of Edom. So again, if you go with atheists, you have to have that stance because there is no morality. You wouldn't have any way to get your morality from. It'd all be subjective, ambiguous, which means your morality, which I told you earlier, comes from you, and Joe can have his come from him, and they're both disagreeing, saying the exact opposite, but they're both not wrong. They're both right because everything is subjective, right? Doesn't make sense. No, you don't need book to tell you that. Again, that's a straw man. That's not what I said. I didn't say anything about needing a book, but you do need a God. So let's try again. And yeah, if a book's a source, what's wrong with that? It's a historical document. You don't say that stance on anything else historically, do you? When you have a book to read from historical documents, that's truth. I don't see you looking at textbooks like, if I need a book to tell me this stuff, it must be wrong. Again, let's be honest and talk facts. Don't try to say nonsense and do scientific nonsense. They just disagree with yours? Again, scientifically, that doesn't make sense because you look at the Royal Society of London in 2016, We're the top atheist scholars, so they need a new theory because neo-Darwinism is dead beyond repair. And you have design over here and creationism over here that hasn't been refuted. Why are you not going there? Oh, because it has God and you don't want to submit to God. Didn't what's his face? Stephen Dawkins, didn't he, like, not Stephen Hawking? Not Hawking, I can't even get his name. Stephen Dawkins, was it Dawkins? I forgot his name. Stephen Hawking? I think it was Stephen Hawking, right? I always mix their names up and mess it up. But yeah, didn't he say that was the grand design? So like Newton did. I mean, not Newton, but Einstein, who obviously wasn't Christian, but he acknowledged God. And he said the more complex, he kept looking at it. He's like, dude, it's way too much design, way too complex. It was so much complexities, so much sophistication. If you go with atheism, you need faith, blind faith, fairy tales. There's no truth for evolution at all, zero. You look at design, creationism, there's so much truth. Actually, you look at all the truth for the worldwide flood, which the Bible told us about thousands of years ago, about 4,000. We see a worldwide flood, which scientists were negating this whole time. And now they're sort of like, yeah, okay, there probably was some kind of worldwide flood. Looks like there's a lot of evidence for that. Like, duh, the Bible's been right. And we keep saying no. But let's go. There's so much. There's no evidence for evolution. I just said, wait, I didn't answer what question. They disagree with your scientifically got. You didn't say anything. What do you mean you have one question? I answered your question. If you figure that without someone telling you that, you lack empathy. That again, doesn't make sense. And see how we're going away from it. You guys both should come to this chat, by the way, and talk. But you guys are missing the point. You can't even talk. What is empathy or morality? You guys don't even have absolute truth without God. Without God, there is no absolute truth. It doesn't exist. Everything else is subjective. It doesn't make sense. Everything you're saying, what's morality? You can't give me a definition. You can't even define it because it doesn't exist. It's just like, let's go to evolution real quick. Let's go to evolution for a second. I'm just mirroring what someone wanted you to do. You're not what? That's not even making sense. What you're saying right now. Again, you're not responding to what I'm responding and destroying what you guys are saying. Your guys' theory of evolution. Let me get this. Which most Darwinists are even saying Darwin was saying a bunch of nonsense. But like you get to the evolution where it rained on a rock. And the rock somehow created some kind of jelly substance that went to the water and like vanity turned to a fish and the fish into a primus, etc. That, yeah, definitely. Which goes against the abiogenesis, which is the law of that, which says that life cannot come from non-life. Life has to come from life. But somehow it's exempt in the beginning, in the origin. Hence the reason Darwin, in the book of his origin, right? He never talks about the origin. Like in his own, like that is, it's crazy. That doesn't make any sense. That makes no sense at all. And again, when you look in history, when you look with science, like I said, if we look at the beach right now, you see the first few letters of your name, you're gonna see intelligent design. Someone think intelligently. Someone put that there. It didn't just happen on by itself. And again, how is God creating the universe? But what do you mean? How did God physically? God created the universe. He created us. What kind of deviation from what we were just talking about to that makes any what? Not to mention, again, let's not do the physical arguments. That's stupidity. We know oxygen exists, right? But we don't see it. It's not tangible, right? We're not touching it. We know gravity exists. We're not touching it. That's such a dumb argument. It's insane. Again, but it doesn't make sense on your guys' side because you guys reject moral absolutes. You guys reject absolute truth in general. Truth doesn't exist, which means laws don't exist. But how can laws exist if there's no lawgiver? Everything was just random. But wait, how can these laws exist if everything was just random? It doesn't make sense. It's mathematically impossible. Which, again, if you guys talk about science, look at the scientists who are talking about these things. It's mathematically impossible for the universe to just expand and to come out perfectly in the way it did, in the time it did, in the fashion that it did. It's impossible. And that everything still works that way right now. Everything's so systematically processed and perfect that these programs and software and the mechanisms are so more sophisticated, way past anything that we could do in computer software. And we're like, nah, it was random. But yet somehow computer software, we know there's a code. There's always a designer, always. Someone programming that code. You could never be like, oh, there's a code. Again, when you go to evolution, it doesn't make sense. Their laws, their rules don't make sense. And you're trying to rationally think about the irrational. It's a contradiction. It makes no sense at all. You can't look at oxygen. That doesn't make any sense. Oh man, that's oxygen right there. Gravity and oxygen are scientifically proven real, but again, that doesn't make sense. And again, it's not proven. Show me proof that God isn't real. And again, show me proof for atheism, for evolution. Because again, there's no proof for it. None. Actually, you look at the creation, what God talks about, all you see is proof. The Bible, man, you can't prove this thing wrong. Everything he's telling us is right. Wait, didn't we discover, what was it, when Einstein went with Edwin Hubble when they went to the telescope, because Einstein was trying to say that the universe was static and it always existed, right? That was his theory because he was trying to, go against God. But then once he looks through the telescope with Edwin Hubble, he sees that the galaxy is expanding. Doesn't the Bible talk about that already? Thousands of years ago again? Oh man, we're just catching up. And which makes, wait, guess what? Einstein wait, there had to be a beginning for the universe. Oh wait, I forgot. The Big Bang with no God makes total sense. There was nothing. So let's think of this box right here. There's nothing in it. And then somehow it explodes to be everything. The universe, solar system, out of this, nothing here. There's nothing here, but it just exploded. Nothing's just, wait, can we see that again? Oh wait, we can't. Oh, I forgot. Dang, everything in evolution is just dumb theory. It's not science. This is the whole point. We're straying from truth and real science. Real science is looking at things and testing them, right? How true they are. Is it objective? Is it true? Does it have the same pattern, the variables? The science you guys go into for atheism is not science at all. It's fairy tale. You're just like, oh, I think this, and I think that this. And again, they keep checking their textbooks, right? Because didn't they think that grass didn't evolve around the time of dinosaurs? But then they just got proven wrong again when they found fossilized poop with grass in the poop from the dinosaurs. Like, they just keep hitting walls and they keep changing their stances. Like, okay, no, because creationists were saying that dinosaurs existed when men did, and that was their refutation. But then they got refuted again. But again, they don't change back to it. Look it up. Okay, you can't prove it. Oh, no, you're the one who said is proof he's not. Like, what do you mean? I'm just responding to your. This is saying, and y'all. This is my point as well. You guys haven't changed anything. I'm just speaking truth. It's all God. But fossils and DNA actually looked that up as well. Hunter, was it Buckley? I think his name is. He was like the top dog for fossil record, and then he looked into creation and design, and he was like, "Dang, this actually blows evolution out the water." And then he looked into the fossil record, and he's like, "Wait a second, the fossil record is nothing like Darwin predicted. Nothing at all. You're supposed to see the slow, like little subtle additions that build up over time." He's like, "No, everything's instant. All these insects and creatures is all instant. It's not. It's the exact opposite of proving evolution." I can find his name for you guys in a second. And again, actually, Darwin actually argued against natural selection. I have a quote for Darwin right here. Actually, wait, here it is. Let me see. Wait, here we go. Darwin said, no, not Darwin. Dawkins said this, which he disagreed. Dawkins is like, it's stupidity because creationists, like a lot of designs, they don't go against natural selection. They agree with it. And natural selection doesn't make sense. You have think of two deck of cards, right? Mom and dad. You select from those, and obviously like a long-haired animal in the cold is going to survive longer than a short-haired animal, so then you're going to see more long-haired animals. But they only choose out of these two. Like, you won't see a dog with wings, right? They're not adding some new thing out, like, again, which evolution would be saying. But this is what Dawkins said. Dawkins said mutation is random. Natural selection is the very opposite of random. That's, again, Richard Dawkins' own statement. He said that in The Blind Watchmaker. No, you were saying God isn't. You said, well, oxygen and gravity are real, are proven, but God isn't. Not to mention, that doesn't negate it in the first place, because there was a time when oxygen and gravity weren't proven, right? Let's think a couple of years ago before it was proven, right? Like before Isaac Newton, who was a Christian, by the way. Let's think about that. Wait, it still existed even though it wasn't proven scientifically. That doesn't make any sense. If I don't prove something right now, right? Say there was like this little hot meteor around the sun, right? That was following it all year, just for the conversation purpose. That follows the sun, right? And I don't prove it's there. It doesn't mean it's not there. It's still there objectively. It's still there truthfully. I just don't know it's there, but it's there. So if I discover it in 10 years, it doesn't negate the fact that it's always been there. It's not an argument. But yeah, like I was saying, yeah, and then DNA obviously as well destroys evolution. That's not proof of evolution. You take a DNA spelled out, like, oh my goodness, like thousands of letters, right? You spell it out, and you're like, you take one of those letters out, it's done, right? Like, you can't take it, like the DNA code's screwed. You can't, like a programming code right now. And if I take one thing out of order, like I'll put that randomly over here. No, the code fails. Wait, how did humans didn't evolve from chips? What? Wait, what are you talking? Humans didn't evolve. That's crazy. It's actually, I remember as a kid, I thought that was like the dumbest argument ever. Like, humans evolved from chimps. Like, how come they just stopped? They were just like, yo, man, we good. We done, bro. We good. We're gonna say we have enough humans. You guys can just do it yourself now. We apparently just stopped. We would like do a few, and then we're like, oh, that's good. They got enough. They'll repopulate themselves. No, that doesn't make any sense. Not to mention, where's the evidence for that? Oh wait, There isn't evidence. Hence the reason they do what they do usually. We'll just put millions of years on it because we can't find evidence, right? Because there's no evidence of change of kinds. It's craziness. Craziness. Yeah, again, sense why they see they did see the diamonds. Actually, the Bible talks about an animal that has a like swings its tail like an oak tree. You don't see any animal like no animal like that nowadays, right? Besides like a bronchiosaurus thing, it was like a huge oak tree swinging that thing, bro. Oxygen is a gas. It can be absorbed. It can be condensed into a liquid. What is? Jump in the audio video stream. Keyboard warrior. Screw the delay. What's up, Rick? Live 245. Humans are constantly evolving, but you know what's funny? They actually admit we're not. We're actually going backwards. We're becoming less intelligent. Can you imagine the things they invented back in the day? Imagine inventing lightning. Not lightning. Lightning. That'd be. Whoa. Imagine inventing light. You know, electricity. Like having it come in and you invent a light, right, out of nothing. Or you inventing like a motor, or you things that were super like nothing there. You're building things off of nothing. Versus nowadays, all we're doing is what? There's a phone right here. Okay, I'm just gonna focus on the camera. Joe over there, he'll focus on this one small piece right here for the memory, and then he'll focus on the picture for the overall screen. That's nothing. That's easy. We're doing a small part. So yeah, technology is getting a little bit more advanced, but we're not. We're degrading. The common general intellect is degrading. Significant. Like there's no how are we evolving? It's crazy. If you go from evolution, then I want some armor on. You know, I want like toughness, like super, like a pump, like motor thing hooked up to my heart, so I got like some, you know what I'm saying, like some nitro kind of thing going on. Especially when I'm getting, you know, so that you get no problems, no health problems. Like what? I want to fly. I don't want wings though. I just want to fly, like levitate, like it's insane. Again, the things you're pushing for, there's no evidence for it all. It's literally just theory. That's not science. It's not observable. It's not testable. It's just science. You're just we came from monkeys. And again, I told you, look into the Royal Society meeting for the scientists in 2016. I think it was Eugene Koonin himself, a huge atheist, huge evolution, was saying neo-Darwinism is dead. It's beyond repair. I'll give you the quote verbatim. Let me see. One second. Let me pull it up. You guys are like, nah, these top signs, they wrong, even though they're pushing for what we pushing for. No one's just bringing this up. It's no bueno. Let me see. How's your night going, Rick? It's Nick. Let's see, neo-Darwin. Let me see if I can. Hopefully, give me the exact quote. Here we go. Okay, so Eugene Koonin said in the Royal Society meeting, where did it go? I lost it. I just lost it. Dang it. Hold on, one second. I just passed like a bot. Where we go? Now I'm like, what's this thing? Like, oh. Where did it just go? I just lost wherever it went. I'll just put his name in. Let me see, because I'm not seeing it right now. Come on, give me the name real quick, bro. Dude, where'd it go? Are you kidding me? I'm trying to find it. I had it like a week ago. It is before. I'll probably that. Here we go. Oh no, I just clicked on it and it went away, bro. What is it? No, where'd it go, bro? Bro, I'm taking so long to find this again. He said the edifice of the modern synthesis has apparently collapsed beyond repair. I'm trying to look at the whole thing, but Oh, yeah, I was saying a lot of things. Let me see. You see evolution in livestock? That's crazy, yo. No, you don't. You don't at all. Again, yes, not to mention, again, no one's arguing against adaptation in the first place. We're talking about change of kind. That's evolution. Go from a monkey to a bird. It goes something else. Now something has a little bit more fur. Something has a little longer beak. Its feathers a little, it's slightly heavier. Like, we're talking about actual evolution, not that. Yeah, that's not. Right? What's our? I don't know what our real right. I just go around stream spreading the word of God to free Bonnie Blue. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know who Bonnie Blue is. Spreading the traits that are designed. And yeah, you're not spreading the word of God. You're spreading nonsense. You're spreading atheism, saying you're a Christian. Again, this is what I do a lot as well. Like, people who said they're Christian, but they spread evolution, like the evolution theist, and that's just insanity. But I was talking to someone like that actually like a week ago. He was like saying he was pushing both. Really, he was pushing for atheism, then went to attack the Bible, which he said he was a Christian, which is like, wait, this is weird. Dude, I cannot see this guy's statement now. I had it like instantly last. I keep finding this, but where is this guy's statement? I go to it, and then like it's just all this writing. So much writing. I gotta read all of it. So much. So much. Oh my goodness. I think, didn't I copy and paste that before? These guys are talking. Oh, there's so much talking going on. But I still wait. I'm about to read all this, unfortunately. Oh, there's all these different replies. That's why. It's probably one of those replies. Oh, are you kidding me? It's like looking like, dude, where is this? I missed it. The Google thing gave it to me instantly last time. I'll just go to the main. I think when I go to the main role of publishing, it's when I see it. So he was like one of the main speakers, and he said it, but this stuff is just so much writing. Edifice symptom. Here we go. This is actually from National Institute of Health, and I can just tell me it'll be quick right there. Yeah, I can't find it. But basically, it was saying it was just the new, all the findings they were seeing. They're like, it's time to find a new. We need to figure out a new theory. This is so much stuff, bro. It's so lame. But yeah, let me see if I just use Google. What else we got? Not even showing me now. That's crazy. I don't even get if that. There's so many statements that are contrary to that. I don't go off any of these surveys. The surveys, the way we survey things nowadays is such a joke. It's so biased, but they say the opposite, and some agree. Like that doesn't mean, even if it was true, it doesn't mean anything. Like, what is that pushing for? Which I'm pretty sure that's opposite. Like, I think America, one of the things I just saw was like, yeah, it was 86 or 96% of people believed there's a God, a deity, God or gods, versus like 4% that were atheists. And atheism is, you see the emptiness with it. Again, they're leaders from suicide for a reason. Not to mention, like I said, all you guys think you guys are trying to argue for don't make any sense. You're trying to make things rational out of the irrational. Something came from nothing, doesn't ever happen again. Like I said, if you look into evolution, like all these things you guys are advocating for, they don't ever happen again. They just happened that one time. They never did it again. We're done. We're good. Doesn't make sense. And not to mention, they defy the laws. Like the second law, I think, of thermodynamics. When explosion causes chaos. Instead, we're like, no, it causes perfectly scheme when something exploded and blew up and just everything is like perfectly balanced. So sophisticated. Yeah, wow. But now when we see explosions, they're just causing destruction and chaos. Now we're good. Now the laws, they're going regularly. Before at the beginning though, they weren't, but now they are. It doesn't. It's insanity. Like nothing makes sense. The issues are from the get go. Hence the reason Darwin ignored trying to go to origin because he couldn't. Most people ignore origin. My comment got hidden because he couldn't deny it. No, you probably said something bad. I have a mod thing. I didn't see your comment. Let's stop with the nonsense, man. I've been going through everything. Y'all been the ones running away. I've been saying all these different things, destroying everything y'all saying. Instead of y'all dealing with it, you guys just run to something else. Well, what about this? What about you guys? That's actually a dishonest tactic people do to keep loading, so you can't deal with the actual things that's being said about yours. But yeah, I didn't see you're on Twitch. No, you're on YouTube. Let's see what you said. I don't even see anything. I don't see anything. I don't know what you said. I don't see anything. I don't even see any moderator stuff on your comments. So I don't see anything on your comments. It's weird because several of y'all here, but it's only saying one person, which is watching, which is weird. But yeah, I don't know what you're saying. Nah, just Homo sapiens Africa is like a human belief. No, that doesn't make any sense. You could think someone looks like people. They look more what, like apes? No, it doesn't show. That doesn't show anything. That doesn't make any sense. And that's your statement. That's what I'm saying. You guys are saying the dumbest things in life, which shows how far you have to go to try to make your disbelief true because you want to be your own God. I pointed out all the huge issues you guys have. None of it makes sense, and you guys are like, "What? My response to everything you just destroyed about all the fundamental points of evolution and atheism? What? Those people in Africa, they look like some monkeys and men a little bit. They look a little bit more like monkeys. Like, I know the way." And you're like, "Oh, that dude look more like a monkey. That's messed up, bro. That dude's y'all better watch out for this dude, African. Ooh, there go." Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. Like that's not to mention it's opinionated. What you're saying is an opinion. It's subjective. I think people like that look like this. Like that doesn't hold weight. There's no connection there. That's how bad it is. Some of these people, not all of them, some of them look a little bit lower, like, they look a little, they must be evolution. Again, evolution doesn't have any evidence, hence the reason they go and expand out millions of years, which doesn't make sense, because we weren't there to observe or study it. Wait, it's just fairy tale. It's fairy tale fantasy, okay. It's probably like 5 million, 100 million years, yeah, 8 billion, yeah. The way this monkey looked, yeah, it must have been like 7, yeah. I don't know, it's just, you can tell. That guy, he's a little bit more hairy, he must have been like, more recent from a monkey. Maybe like that's like 20 million years ago. Yeah, like it's honestly retarded. If you stay with this, you're seeing nothing but ignorance. It's nice. I'll put the nicer way. Yeah. Not to mention, like I said, the things that they constantly keep getting wrong in evolution atheism, like dinosaurs. But yeah, isn't it weird? They found dinosaurs buried with sharks in like Montana. I think it's called like Hell's Creek. But sharks with dinosaurs. Wait, dinosaurs are like millions of years ago. How? Wait, and then they found a bunch of dinosaurs you can look up. They found blood cells still alive, which is not possible in millions of years. Not even a million years, let alone millions, 60-some million, hundreds of millions of years. That's insane. Blood cells. They found collagen still. The muscles with like collagen, which is super fast. Things that don't survive. Biological things that don't survive. They found so many different things. It's, again, destroys evolution, destroys atheism, destroys this old world nonsense of millions of, again, nothing there but theory, and there's no science behind it. None. Darwinism is, that's crazy. You're going to just say the same thing again, and you probably just Google translate it from someone. Again, this is what they say in the textbooks, but when you look at it, it's crazy. Oh, okay, sharks should have existed millions of years ago. Oh, that's interesting. I don't think we get that same stance. We should have existed, okay. So you didn't respond to what about the blood? What about the blood? Oh yeah, you evolved from a fish. Don't forget. Yeah, and slime before that, like some kind of jelly. Well, like jellyfish. Yeah. So then, hey, if we murder, kill, or still, you don't complain. We just fish and stuff that we evolved. We came from a rock, bro. We came from a rock that got wet, which is weird though, because again, look into it if you don't believe me. Rain fell on a rock that caused like jelly substance that turns like jelly, and some people argue jellyfish and then fish. And then like in primates and people eventually, right? So how come that hasn't replicated again? We've never seen rain fall on a rock and it's like, whoa, there's a fish. Whoa, what? This is crazy. Again, nothing you can replicate. There's no science there. Called ignorance, willful ignorance. Again, the blood cells, the live blood cells cannot stay along. Nowhere near that. So again, or the collagen, substance that just dissipates very quickly. You could put it in a seal, in a tight seal, on top of it, and inside of another tight seal, and you're still not getting anywhere near. It's impossible. Nowhere even close to 1 million years. Yet alone 65 million years, 120 million years. It's insanity. It's stupidity. And again, see the deviation, the dishonesty, man? Because you deviate, and then you run to this. So, and you're gonna disrespect to like little keyboard warriors, bro. It's crazy, yo. Just cowards, bro. It's insane. Believe that Adam and Eve started the human. You know what? I do, because the Bible told me so. I don't know why I would. It's not proven wrong. Usually, you look at sources. Like, these sources are wrong, but again, the Bible is the most authentic source we have in history by far. We're like, nah, don't listen to that. It tells us all about the stuff that we keep learning in science and we keep testing to see it's true. I think Isaac Newton was the one who said that, because we test and see it. That's what makes us want to study more about it. Or C.S. Lewis, who told us, because of our faith, like, we know we look for a lawgiver, and we look for laws because we expect a lawgiver, right? We're looking for this design, these beautiful things, because we know there's someone who designed it. Versus y'all, like, everything just happened random, and it's so beautiful, it's just crazy. Again, which means all your thoughts, all your rationality, it's not rationality. It's just chemical combustions going on in your head. Just random. But yet, somehow it works perfectly, like 2 + 2 is 4. We get absolute truth and objectively truth, which don't make sense because everything's just random. So again, you're trying to rationally describe something that's irrational by definition and by its foundation. It's idiocracy. It's insane. It's so dumb. It's beyond mention. Now, I digress. Crazy, bro. And again, everything you're saying, you haven't refuted anything. You're just saying that. And actually, let me pull up this guy. Real quick. I'm going to pull this dude up. Let me pull this dude up. He's like a Hunter Buckley. I think, let me see. Let me pull this man up. Top, like, renowned scientist who got deboed from the atheist community because he switched to creationism, by the way. Got, like, deboed. Which, again, they're not pushing for... Why are they pushing so hard to keep atheism? That's weird. You can't say anything. This guy's a top guy. He has fossils named after him, a bunch. He found, I think, over 160 or 180 fossils. Had a bunch named after him. That's weird. Nah, this guy, nah. Let me see. Hunter Buckley, I think his name is. Hunter Buckley. I think it's Hunter Buckley. Or maybe it's Gunter Buckley. I think it might be Gunter. Let me see. Let me check Hunter first. Actually, I think I have a picture of it, actually. Let me see. Let me see. Do I have it still on his phone? Here we go. Yes, sir. Yeah, his name is Gunter. I think it's Buckley. I have this thing over it. He published over 160 scientific papers. Okay, there you go. He had a bunch of found a bunch. Yeah, he discovered over 180 fossils in the fossil record. Published over 160 scientific papers. Like, this man's a top dog, man. He used to be the curator in the history museum in Stuttgart, Germany. And let's see what he says. He says, this guy talks about all the living properties. Again, they're talking about the scientific things that we would expect not to see, which is like, it's crazy. The phenomenon of sudden appearances in the fossil record is not the fossil record. Excuse me. Wait, no. I just switched it up. Excuse me. Let me get what he says, because I just destroyed that. Because I have these screenshots and they're not in order. So I'm just going to do that. This is a 35-minute one. I don't want to do a 35-minute one. Let's see. Wait, there's probably more context to the. You probably don't understand. No. There's not. I just explained it, but you can't. It's crazy how the one who can't explain is like, yo, there's probably more to it. You just don't. I can't explain any of it. You're saying it all, but you just don't. Again, I told you earlier, Dawkins said this. If you agree with Dawkins and atheism, evolution, you're agreeing there's no morality, which means your prior statement, your initial statement of me being wrong and LGBT being right is refuted. It's negated because there's no right or wrong, which you have to go come to that conclusion if you're honest. If you're going to atheism, it can't be right or wrong. There's no morality. which doesn't. It always refute. You guys always destroy yourself with that. It's just there's no foundation. You just that's hence it goes to like what you see in the Democrat Party, right? You see, it's all moral relatives. It's all what's relative to you is true, and what's relative to Jimmy is true, and to him. So and they'll contradict each other. They'll be the opposites, but they're all true somehow, but they're all not, and it's craziness. It's a circus, and that's what we see in America. I can't play this guy's statement. I have a 35-minute video, but he'll probably go into it. But basically what he says is that we find the exact opposite in the fossil record of what you would expect what Darwin says. Darwin already refuted himself as well when you talk about the irreducible complexity, right, of like the cell. Like he was expecting some slow, continuous process that would go over millions of years and start adding additions, etc. But he's like, if there was some kind of complex thing that was instantaneous and super complex, then he's like, it would refute his argument, which we found a bunch of things that refuted Darwin, which again, a lot of Darwinists admit his mechanism, things he was saying or advocating for was false. They don't support it anymore. Hence the reason you have neo-Darwinism, which was like the modern Darwinism, modern Darwinism. Then you went from neo-Martinism, which I said Eugene and Kuhn were saying is destroyed. It's like it's declined. It's beyond repair now. They need a new theory, right? Because even neo-Darwinism is all the scientific evidence they're finding. It's going against neo-Darwinism. It's destroying it. There's no evidence for it. Again, Royal Society of London, 2016. Look it up. Don't believe me? Look into what they're talking about. They're talking about the theory. Like their whole topic was like, can we fix this theory? Because like all the evidence is going against it. It's destroying it. Or is it? Then some of the guys like it's gone beyond. It's declined beyond repair. Like they need a new theory. But again, this guy named Stephen Meyer actually talks about it. He's actually super smart. If you want to look at someone, him or like the Gunstar Buckley has a bunch of videos. Not the one I'm looking for, but he talks about. Like I said, he explains it. Like I said, he's like the top dog for the fossil record. So he talks about for everything, all the insects, like everything we find, nothing is like similar to what you expect. Let me see. Why do many Darwinists claim the fossil record? Let me see. Actually, let me go that way. Let me see if I can pull this up.
One is that the theory predicts gradual changes with small steps, but the fossil record shows sudden changes with big steps.
See?
Then there is no evidence for gradations of one form of one species into another. Furthermore, we find that the fossils are distributed mostly on the terminal branches of the phylogenetic trees, but they lack mostly for the internal branches and for the nodes where they should be found according to theory. And finally, there is conflicting evidence between the fossil record and between the predictions from the theory, for example, between molecular data, molecular clock datings, between the pattern of appearance that is predicted by the phylogenetic reconstruction and the pattern of appearance in the stratigraphical column. And finally, there are often fossils that are out of place, that are found at the wrong place and at the wrong time. And all these conflicting evidences require ad hoc explanations to explain away this conflicting evidence.
Tell them. But the biggest thing they said is like, which I'll go back to one more time in case you guys missed it at the beginning.
They lack. Furthermore, we find documents
because
he knew saltations would require some kind of miraculous interventions. And saltations are the thing that the fossil record really documents, are the things that happened in the history of life.
Here we go. 1 second. It says, what challenges does the fossil record?
The fossil record poses several great challenges to Darwin's theory. One is that the theory predicts slow changes, but the fossil record shows rapid changes.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot. There's a guy named Michael Phoebe. He talks about this with Stephen Meyer. They have a discussion even with John Lennox. When they talk about the issues, like how Darwinism, he refutes himself in his own book, Origin of Species. Which, like I said, it's funny because he doesn't even talk about the origin. But yeah, like all the things he said doesn't make sense. The more we're learning, the more we're destroying. Actually, one of Dawkins, I think I heard today, actually, one of his, like some woman that was like his close friend of Dawkins. Was it Dawkins? I think it was Dawkins. He just became Christian. She was like a top, I guess, like the top female, like atheist. Like I don't know if she's a sign. I don't know what she is or anything. But yeah, it's like, yo, because again, the evidence is like it's too overwhelming. If you're being honest, if you want to be honest and be truthful, it's gonna point you to God. There's no way around it. It's only when you're like, no, I'm trying to find any kind of way I can. Everything you're saying is true, but look at those black Africans. Some of them look like monkeys. Yo, that's crazy, yo. That's down bad, man. Oh, dude. Word. No, I mean, I'm not gonna give up. Period. I mean, that's my whole thing. I look for truth, and it always points to God. You know, I wasn't raised Christian. The truth's gonna always point you that way. And again, all glory goes to God. It's nothing about me. Like, it's nothing to do with this is the evidence. The evidence is so overwhelming. There's nothing you could do about it. And again, it forces atheists and evolutionists, they have to lie. There's no other way around it. You have to be dishonest. Because when you look at the evidence, you look at the truths, you look at design, you're like, there's no other way around it. One's like, and the other one's like, nothing. And like I said, think about it. If you're agreeing with that, you're agreeing that we came from materials, like some kind of material form just came, non-life. Not even some kind of life, non-life just came and like it made life. It's just insane. Like if we looked at that nowadays, look at this rock, like, yo, that rock's gonna one day turn into a person. It's gonna turn into Jimmy, and Susie. He's gonna have like a whole family. We'd laugh like that's ridiculous, dude. You're insane. But somehow we're like, no, with atheism, evolution, it worked at the beginning. Didn't do it again. Now it's crazy. Which the guy even Gunther just said, you heard him. It has to be. They need miraculous things that are just beyond explanation that will never happen again, to happen to make their theories true. No, not shark blood, yo. Oh, come on, bro. I ain't gonna cap, dude. No. Sharks, you're mixing the two. Sharks, I think it was like central, I think it was close to Montana. I think it was called Hell's Creek. Sharks, they found sharks buried with dinosaurs. You're conflating that with another thing I'm talking about. They found multiple, I think they found a couple different T-Rexes with blood cells, live blood cells still alive, and multiple. They found something in like a neurosaurus. Actually, I have some data on it. Let me see if I can find it real quick. One second. I'll pull it up for you. There's a lot. You look at whales. They have whale bones on the top of mountains in the middle of nowhere, hundreds of miles away from coast. How's that possible? Oh, because it was a great flood. They have oysters on top of the mountains. Actually, that thing, it was oysters or clams. They have clams the size like these cars. There's one place super far. Then they have oysters on top of Mount Everest, fossilized oysters, and they died shut, because you know oysters, when they die they open. But these are shut, which means something catastrophic happened, something instant. Oh wait, a flood, and they're found on top of Mount Everest, fossilized, dead, closed. You know what I'm saying? There's so much evidence, it's insane. They actually found whales as well, and where? The Sahara Desert. That doesn't make much sense. I'm telling you, look at the evidence, it's overwhelmingly supporting the body. Not supporting us. Oh man, dude, you look into any person that talks about the facts of anything, there's nothing, none of those theories work. Nothing, it doesn't work at all. None of it. Now let me see if I can find this real quick. Hallelujah. Here we go. I think. Wait, let me scroll a little bit. Yeah, you're talking about that word with a P. I forgot what it's called. That doesn't make sense. So that doesn't change the fact where they're at. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't add up, buddy. To the point when you're on a graph. You look at the sediments as well. When they look at roots of sediments, they see the sediments. They all were like, I think it's Grand Canyon. You see these different roots, different level sediments that all instantaneously went. Because if they're not, they're clean on top as well, which wouldn't expect if you were like over time they supposedly eventually shifted over millions of years. No, you see this instantaneous shift where they got pushed on top of each other, different sediment rocks, and then on top they're clean. There's so much evidence, it's insane. But let me see if I can still find this thing on oh yeah, and if you agree with evolution, I forgot to mention, I mentioned this earlier to my brother, but you also believe that squids and octopus came from space, so there's that. Yeah. Oh yeah, and the monkeys like surfed over here from Africa. Well, they went to South America, but yeah, it's crazy stuff. Like to make it work. That's how it's out. It's ludicrous. But yeah, okay. So here we go. Okay, so they found so the total dinosaur collagen, the biological material that would have long worn out. Multiple T-Rex. They found blood vessels. They found over 10 adult Myosaurs in Montana as well. In the center with no young. Oh, there you go. Notosaur. It's not its intestines intact. There you go. Its intestines. We're still intact. A Notosaur. Its intestines. And it's supposed to be 110 million years old. Mic drop. That's what I'm saying. When you go into the stance of, there's no science, there's no truth. It's literally just fairy tale. 500 billion years. 20 million years. Yeah, that must have been 100. Yeah. Okay. And yeah. And then they never agree. They don't agree with the dates are crazy. No. Again, you don't. You're just saying nonsense. What are you? You're saying outside of the conscience, they shifted a little bit, started moving, and again, this is a theory which a lot of atheists don't even agree with. This is just a theory. They might have been together. The world might have been all connected. Might have been. Again, theory. See the point? We're deviating from science. Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you again. Yeah, they try so hard. Yokobi, Yikobi. Yo, does science does science answer all the questions? Do you need science to answer every truth, like every question, every truth? Intestines. That's, yeah, you don't know science if you're saying that. That's crazy. That's wild, yo. Not being honest, man. I'm gonna grab a drink real quick. I'll be right back.
Grace is all complete. He supplieth every need while I sit and learn at Jesus' feet. I am free, yes, free indeed. It is joy unspeakable and full of glory, full of glory. Full of glory, it is joy unspeakable and full of glory. Oh, the half has never yet been told. I have found the pleasure I once craved. It is joy and peace within. What a wondrous blessing. I am saved from the awful gulf of sin. I found that hope so bright and clear, living in the realm of grace. Oh, the Savior's presence is so near. I can see His smiling face. It is joy unspeakable and full of glory, full of glory. Full of glory, it is joy unspeakable and full of glory. Oh, the half has never yet been told. I have found the joy no tongue can tell, how its waves of glory roll. It is like a great o'erflowing well, springing up within my soul. It is joy unspeakable and full of glory, so glory. Full of glory, it is joy unspeakable and full of glory. Oh, the half has never yet been told. I have found the pleasure I once craved in flames. This to lie, nowhere all the trace. It is joy unspeakable and full of glory, full of glory, full of glory. It Be careful, little eyes, what you see. The world will show you many things it shouldn't be. Be mindful of the pictures in your mind. They shape your heart and leave their mark behind. Every glance can plant a seed, growing into thoughts you'll feed. Oh, be careful what you view. It might just change the way you do. The images will stay with you. So guard your heart in all you choose. Be careful, little ears, what you hear. Some words bring light while others bring cowardly fear. The voices whispering in the night, trying every way to hinder your sight. Every sound can shape your way. The word of God brings peace, yet the world brings disarray. Oh, be careful what you view. It might just change the way you do. The images will stay with you. So guard your heart in all you choose. So guard your heart in all you choose. Be careful, little hands, what you touch. Evil things of the world will hurt you so much. So choose with care in all you do. Because whatever you say or do will show your truth. Oh, be careful what you view. It might just change the way you do. The images will stay with you. So guard your heart in all you choose.
All right, let's see. We back. It means they have just been preserved. Fossil.
Be thankful always.
Wait, I lied about the blood thing. I didn't lie about anything. You want me to tell you where it's at? What are you saying, bro? You're not my bro, but dude. Okay, let me see this. So I'll give you. I'll find the studies for you. I got you. Let me get the studies for you right now. Let me find these studies for you, yo. Crazy, bro. The man, you're lying about the blessings.
And praise Christ Jesus.
It's like 2 different T-Rexes they found live blood cells in. Let's see. I don't have my scholar thing on right now. Here we go. Yep, that's one of them. I know it was Mary Switzer. She found her in 2005. Paleontologist, Mary Switzer announced the discovery of what appear to be flexible branching blood vessels and microscopic structures resembling blood cells inside the femur bone of a 68 million year old T-Rex. This finding was revolutionary because conventional wisdom held that soft tissues couldn't survive for millions of years. So of course they held that, because that's stupid to say so. Science, you can look at this if you want to right here. It's called Science AAAS. Or you can look at the Smithsonian. The Smithsonian! Super not Christian. Smithsonian magazine. They say the same thing. What we doing? You can look at 2025 actually as well. Dinosaur hemoglobin may have been discovered in fossils. Man, what you saying, bro? That's crazy. Yeah, there's a bunch of different things. That's insane. And again, the intestines mean nothing is wild. They were just preserved really well. Okay. biological stuff is just like you could seal it among sealing it. You're talking about millions again, and it's stupid. It actually goes back to St. Helens, which the thing was like the explosion of like 1980. I can't remember exactly. I think it's like 86, I think. And they test it, and they're like, it's not even 10 years old, and they're like, they test it to these different places, and they give like 2 million years old, 20 million years old. Like they're outrageous numbers for a rock that was less than 10 years old. It just happened from the volcano. This is like, you see this constantly, but again, this is what I'm thinking off the top of my head right now, bro. This guy's gonna say, yo, bye lie, you destroying everything I'm saying, so I'm going to take it easy because I can't do it. He gone! Get out of here, bro. Weak, man. Weak sauce, dude. That's crazy. Crazy. I ain't waiting for you to come back. You're gonna do it when I'm not there? How slick, yo. People are just like, yo, you lying, yo. You lying. Like, I already told him at first, he said the shark, like, you're not listening, dude. You ain't listening. Free, it won't let go. I'll put the link in the chat. You put that link in the chat, bro. Put that link in the chat. Ooh, say I won't. Say I won't. Say I won't. Bop. Boom. Done. You put the Darwin as well. That's crazy. Like I said again, we're talking about the Royal Society. Oh, they didn't even use this evidence. They were just talking in general. Like, all this evidence is destroying what they're standing for. I can't believe homeboy ran like that. Like a little girl. Like a little girl. Talking about someone looking like a monkey. Must have been you. You run like a little monkey. That reply, I can't even mess this guy now, huh? Lame sauce, bro. People run like cowards and they're like projection. You're the one lying, even though you destroyed me this whole time and I haven't said anything. I'm gonna run away and say you're lying when it's really me. Crazy. Crazy. Let's see. Oh, there you go. This is probably more to the context of the blood. What context? They found it. Like, what is? There's more context here, guys. Yes, this dinosaur we are approximating lived approximately 70 million years old, 68, maybe and a half. Yeah, it's blood cells. Yeah. No, there's more context there. I don't know what that possibly could be that could change the fact that the blood cells. But yeah, nah. Maybe it was Susie. She cut her finger when she was checking it out, and it was her blood cells. Oh, you tested that was T-Rex blood cells? Oh, it's not a person? Oh, okay. Yeah, it must be more context there. We're just blowing off. Don't worry about it. Come on, man. What are we doing? What are we doing, man? Like, stupid lies too, you know. Stupid. And again, like, back to the conversation. It's crazy. Isn't it crazy though? Like, these conversations that we have, the title is always this, but somehow we always get into atheism, which is crazy because this title isn't. Can you be a Democrat and atheist? Like, no, you usually are atheist and Democrat. Like, the conversation is, can you be Christian and Democrat? And somehow we always just stray to atheism. Isn't that? I think that tells you something. I'm just saying. I think it's trying to tell us something, dude. You know what I'm saying? And all that stuff I just unloaded, unpacked all that stuff, and there was nothing. Hence the reason their cowards didn't want to come to chat and talk, because like, I'd just be a keyboard warrior. I'm gonna type some things up. I'm not really gonna say anything. The other guy's like, you're a good arguer. Like, no, what? It's the facts. You don't get past these. You just can't get past. This is God's. You know what I'm saying? It's God's word. One, you can't beat that. But two, then you go to the facts and look at the facts. And you're like, yo, people just need to take their time and stop being lazy and go try to get more intelligent. Instead of people always sitting around all day long doing nothing but playing video games and watching football or soccer or basketball, whatever you're watching, or NASCAR, whatever. You don't get the idea. Being a lazy slob, just being stupid. Like, no, go out. Get educated, get smart, get intelligent. You can do those things, but don't just waste your whole life doing them, and especially when you're not being smart. Yeah, it was well preserved, yeah. Quote unquote, yeah, definitely, yeah. That defies everything, which is what they were saying. Like, this destroys every contemporary thinking, because we're like, there's no possible way. They see it again when we do science, real science. We test blood cells, we test collagen, we test biological things just in general, we test how long they last, and we see it. We see from dead people, dead animals. We see how it works. And yeah, you have environment that can change and they can, help preserve it a little longer. But they all have their limits, and they're nowhere close. The outrage, that's insane to say millions of years. We're like, there's no way they're getting close to that. That's impossible. Impossible. Which in case people they don't know, it means beyond possibility, guys. For a couple of you guys, you go back, you guys, okay, you're probably still there, but that's what it means. Impossible. Vince, again, like he even said the Gunter guy, he said like they need miraculous things to make their stuff work because none of it makes sense. They have to keep jumping. Even Darwin admitted that with his own theory that he had to make his huge jumps, even though he's like, I think he said life doesn't take jumps or small steps or something like that, or big steps, excuse me. But then he admitted he made huge leaps in some of his theory. Like it doesn't take steps, but you making these big leaps and steps. I forgot what he said exactly, because I know he did think it was obviously these tiny little steps over a long period of time. When we see in the evidence is the antithesis. I need to the title. Maybe start a second one. Be like, yo, can you be the one? Can you be the one that refused this? Can it be you? Can it be you? Get the Rick. Dude, this song goes so hard, yo. Sorry. Let me change the title, yo. Let me change the title. Let's change the MC. Are you the one? Can you do what no one else can do? I should be like, where my atheists at? Like, maybe get some Muslims up in here. They do the same thing. But they use. I don't even know who's more. We forgot our stream. People checking out right now. They were supposed to stream. Who's the most dishonest? It's supposed to be the Muslims, the Black Hebrew Israelites, and atheists. We're supposed to have a discussion about this. Dang it! And we forgot. We dropped the ball, Rick. If you're still watching this, we dropped the ball, bro. We forgot about this. I think we were waiting on Sean to figure out time frame, and after that we forgot. I need to get all prepped, yo. Like I'm the. Oh yeah. And is it crazy, by the way, guys? They gave me the Black Hebrew Israelite. I think they're trying to tell me something, bro. I'm just saying, like, yo, what's that about? But yo, okay. Actually, and I am blessed. Get my glasses on. I'm gonna get sophisticated up in here. Okay. Okay, actually, maybe I should take the hat off. Look, see. Okay, there you go. Maybe I look like a nerd, and they're like, yo. You know what I'm saying? I went from bank robber to bank teller, you know what I'm saying? There you go. So maybe people might be able to go ahead, there we go. Okay. Look like a geek now. So I think it could work. That actually might make it worse. It might not come in with them like a geek. Like he's smart. Maybe it's better to look like a gangster. Maybe I should look like a Black Hebrew Israelite. But without the glasses, because the glasses take away that effect. But you get the idea. There we go. Okay. Okay. What's the title? Can you be the one? I should start talking like that the whole stream too, actually. Can you see? We need to reach these 80. The whole goal, though, real talk though, is to hopefully, hopefully reach these people, some of these people, and realize what they're teaching, like what they're following. Because like Islam, we have a lot of people dealing with that, and it's obviously blatantly craziness. With atheism, we have a lot of craziness as well, but it's almost like Catholics. Even some Muslims, like on low level, who don't realize what they're teaching. And when you realize what they're teaching, it gets exposed. It can help, prick their heart. We're like, this is crazy. Like I've been attacking the Bible. There's nothing. Like I don't think everyone came from Adam and Eve. Like that's not really an argument. But they go, thank you. I got a message. Why is it not popping up? I see on the screen. Oh, it says spam. Okay. I was like, how do I see the screen then? Thank you. Yes, guys. According to my calculations, let me keep this down actually. Probably take the hat off too. The hat probably just gives away. Let me see. Where the atheists at? Let's see where the atheists at. Let's go there. Actually, yeah, there you go. Again, if I had crooked, that'd probably be better. There you go. Yeah, we're like the worst. If someone comes in, I'm gonna start dealing with them on purpose. They're not gonna know. All right, we're good, baby. We're chilling. Then again, they might not come in because I look too like this guy's weird. Trying to think right now. I'll switch one of them to that, and then who can answer? There we go. Who could be the first atheist to solve this? There we go. We're going to have 2 different titles. Let's get it. Alright, actually, let's get the title. Yo, where my atheists at? Where y'all at, though? Is the atheist, you coming in here? Oh, my bad. Atheist, you guys want to come in? Feel free to discuss the title. Well, actually, you're atheist, so you're coming in for that. No, they left as soon as I put the glasses down, man. It's horrible. These guys are glasses is. There you go. This last couple of days has been weaker than usual. I guess they get a couple people on, but definitely weaker than what it's been like last week, the week before. 2 weeks it was on fire, and this week it's been maybe you deal with maybe more with Catholics, maybe, or more with Muslims. Like really easy. Muslims and I don't know. I find them and Hebrew Israelites, Black Hebrew Israelites, as pointless because they don't really. They're purposely being dishonest. Like they don't care about whatever you put. It's not going to change anything. They don't want truth. Usually, whenever I do hear a thing of like the Black Hebrew Israelite switching, it's because of they have like some kind of inner falling out that causes that. You might see it in like a rare case otherwise, but with Muslims. Pretty similar as well, which you hope you reach some, but most calling in obviously don't want what they're getting because usually you see when they're challenging anyone online, their claims are like not real claims. They have the Islamic dilemma, so that their game is already over off rip. Oh yeah, baby. You gonna jump in here, Rick? You gonna get up in here, dude? I'm trying to get this look going, bro. So people come in thinking I'm like some. Yeah. Okay. You got the look. See, I got it. I got it going right now. See? Yeah. I think actually one time real quick. I'm telling you, I got this, bro. Yeah, we dropped the ball, Rick. We were supposed to be doing this. You know what I'm saying? We're supposed to do our thing on who's the most dishonest. It's supposed to be remember the atheists versus the Black Hebrew Israelites versus Muslims, bro. And we didn't do it yet. We dropped the ball. I think we were waiting on Sean and then we forgot. With that, we're gonna do big. It's gonna be we gotta get ready for that, man. Yeah, Rick, we need that. Rage face, man. Like the founder of the Rage Face. From your old time in the rock band. You probably did a lot.
Be careful, little eyes, what you see. The world will show you many things it shouldn't be. Be mindful of the pictures in your mind. They shape your heart and leave their mark behind. Every glance can
I can't believe that man left like that car this way. I came back, got my drink. I was chilling, Rick. I was chilling, bro. And then this man done left. He left me, Rick. He left me, bro. Talking all this craziness. I'm like, he wasn't responding. So I'm like, you know, I'm gonna wait and go real quick. And then he leaves me? He leaves me? It's crazy, bro. Let me take a picture of this right here. I had him at death trap coming up too, man. There's a bunch of death traps, but he was dead and he was gonna die. He was gonna be gone, bro. He was going out for the count, you know what I'm saying? He was gone, man. He was gonna be gone.
be careful, little ears, what you hear. Some words bring light while others bring
Let's see what we got.
voices whispering in the night. Trying every way
Still waiting, man. These people, they scared, bro. Why are they scared for? I should just start over and say the same thing again. I'm about to do that, actually. I'm gonna start over real quick, Rick, and join right back. Be back. We'll be back, y'all. What the? Did it work? Oh, man. Hi, guys. I'm trying to see if this worked to the YouTube. Give me a second, guys. I'm gonna have to reset it again. Did it work? I think it worked. I think it did, guys. I think it done did. It looks like it. Wait, is it going back to the initial screen? Nice, wow. Let me see. Let me check this. Let me type this in real quick. Let me type this in. Switch is the only thing. No, it didn't work. Wait. It's working, but it's not letting me type. What's going on?
Be thankful always, understanding we deserve nothing but damnation for our past evil ways. Yet we have received the ultimate gift of salvation through grace by faith, and on top of that, infinite
Okay, so
blessings by our
somehow they
merciful
connected
God
again.
Almighty.